What's up guys, I'm Griff, and today we're going to talk about Steam's early access, specifically ARK Survival Evolved. ARK is an action-adventure survival game, heavy on the survival, light on the action-adventure, that is on the Steam Early Access program and has been since June 2015. So that's 2 years, almost. We're coming up on the 2-year mark in a couple of months. It was supposed to come out in full launch last year, didn't, still waiting. It says on all of their marketing stuff that it'll be this year that it goes into full launch, but I don't know if we can believe that or not. Several of us picked up this game on early access a couple of months after it first showed up there. I know Chicken and I have played it, and we've streamed it for you guys. Baka and Red have been there. We've had some of the community play with us, Vald, Fina. Yay, everybody's having a good time with it, except for not anymore. And why not anymore? Because a lot's changed about that game since it originally hit the early access program. Initially, developer Wildcard had planned for the game to be on early access for about a year, so it was supposed to come out in 2016, summer 2016. We were all anticipating that being the time that it launched. When we picked up the game, it was more like August. We played from August through December and into January and stopped playing them because it was one of those games where you have to be logged in. Somebody has to log in on a regular basis or your stuff can be completely dismantled. All of your stuff can die off if you've got dinosaurs tamed. Yeah, by the way, it's dinosaurs. Oh my god. Which makes it cool, but at the same time it's frustrating because you do have to have somebody signed in all of the time. So we decided, since they were going to wipe the servers soon, at the time we thought it was going to be a couple of months, we stopped playing last January, waiting for them to wipe the servers and do the full launch. Well, that never came. They never launched the full game. It's still in early access. It's in early access on the consoles as well, and they've actually even launched full DLC. Full fleshed out DLC for a game that hasn't even launched yet. How is that even a thing that should happen? As you can tell, I'm a little salty, I guess, about how this has gone down. We had this big base built up, but we stopped playing because there were rumors flying around that they were going to go full launch and just wipe everything. So why would we keep playing? Why would we continue to put in time on something that was going to get completely dismantled? We were on a PvE server. It's not like other players could come while we were sleeping and tear it all down, unless we didn't log in. There were login timers. You had to be online a certain amount of time after you logged out last. Somebody in your group did, or else your stuff could be dismantled. So, as you can guess, we missed our login date. All of our stuff was dismantled. Everything was taken. And how do you go back after something like that happens? Well, a lot of times people are like, let's just start over. It'll be fun. We'll relive all of the fun stuff. Well, the problem is now you've got mega tribes. Tribes are basically guilds, groups of people that play together under the same umbrella, same name, whatever. So with mega tribes, you've got somebody that's logged in almost constantly because you're trying to get a bunch of people with different time zones, sleep at different times of the day, all of your stuff can be protected, and this, that, and the other, especially on PvP servers where you can take down stuff without having to wait for the timer to run out. Well, that's not exactly a good thing. Now you've got these mega tribes with people that are always on, and smaller tribes are just going to get dicked over. And how are they going to get dicked over? Well, if you're on a PvP server, they're just going to roll in and take all of your stuff because they've got way more people than you do, which means you either join a mega tribe or die. Well, that's not cool. What about a PvE server? Well, if you're on a PvE server, one of the things that people can do to be jerks is there's a build limit so far outside of where you build something. So say I built a little house. Well, so many squares outside of that house, somebody else can build a wall around my house that I cannot get out of. So I might be stranded inside this one place because these people wanted to take it over and I just happen to be there. They're going to try to starve me out and then kick me out altogether if I don't join their tribe. Again, join or die. It's very, very much a join or die situation in a game like this now, and Wildcard's not doing anything to mediate that. They're not doing anything to mitigate it, and it's super unfriendly to new players. I mean, basically, you either log on and immediately join people, or you log on and immediately get screwed out of being able to build anywhere. You can't build within so many spaces of somebody else, so there's nowhere to build because you're new. Well, what do you do then? Go to an unofficial server? Sure, go ahead. The problem with the unofficial servers, though, is that whoever's the server admin can decide at any given time to destroy everything in the world and completely reset it. Or just spawn in a bunch of stuff that you can't deal with because you're a new player and all the old players want to have a challenge all of a sudden. So what do you do then? Well, Wildcard doesn't really seem to care what you do then, because they've already got the money out of you, and if you bought the expansion pack so that you can play with everybody else and do all of this server transfer stuff, then they've definitely gotten money out of you. It's an early access game. that makes it feel like the developers don't care about it and that they're not interested in releasing. And I understand that it's only 2 years in. We're coming up on the 2-year mark this June that it will be in early access. And there are games that have been there a lot longer. Early access started in, I think it was May of 2013. There are games that have been there since then, like Rust, and the year after that, The Forest. 2014 is when The Forest hit early access. Still in early access. Same thing with Rust, things like DayZ that have been in early access for years and are still not finished. The question becomes, what motivates the developers to actually finish these projects that they're working on? Well, nothing motivates them. It's something that is almost like a freebie thing for them to get money off of a half-finished game and use the early access bit of it as an excuse to say, well, we're still in early access. I think on Rust it actually says we're still in very early development. Very early development? You've been there since 2013. How early is your development? How long is this taking? When will you be in late development? When are we going to hit the beta phase for these games? Well, there's nothing that Steam's doing to stop this. And I think one of the things that you could do as Steam is suspend sales for early access games that have been there for just way too long. You've been there for 2 years and the game's not anywhere near ready for full launch, then it's time to suspend the sales until you're ready to launch. The player base that you have there will still have the game. Steam will still have it up as far as maintaining the store page and whatnot, but you will be unable to purchase the game until you make progress on it. It would stop people like Wildcard from putting out DLC and prioritizing something like a DLC pack and make them prioritize the game itself, which is what it should be. If you're on early access, you're theoretically there so that the people can test your game and help you get it ready for launch. Well, if you're putting out extra content, then it means that you're not worrying about what the base game is doing. The base game is not ready. It's not in full launch yet. Why are you bothering with DLC at this point? In Wildcard's defense, they said that they had been working on that DLC pretty much the whole time in tandem with the base game, but if that's the case, why was that not actually included as just DLC that you didn't have to pay for? Why did you have to pay extra for a whole pack of DLC in addition to the early access game that hasn't launched yet? It seems to me that you should have to put out your game before you can offer add-on packs, which is another thing that Steam needs to do. But as we all know, if you're a PC player and you've been on Steam, Steam's not really the most keen on curating their content. They all want it to be very hands-off. Steam's like, okay, well, once it's up on the store, it's up to the players to write reviews, or it's up on the developers to make sure that they're putting out content as they should be, and players should call them out if they're not. Well, the problem is we're getting shafted as players. I bought a $29 game to play in early access. Have I played it in early access? Yeah, 148 hours I have played that game. But it's something that I should still be playing, especially in a survival setting like that. It's something I should continue to want to play. But I don't, because I don't see any way for me to play it and have fun at this point. I'm not looking to join a mega tribe. I'm not looking to be on 18 to 20 hours a day so that my stuff's not rifled through. I'm just not ready for that kind of commitment, and I don't think a lot of people are. And the people that are in parts of mega guilds for specifically ARK and things like that, that's fine. If that's how you want to play it, that's cool, but it really shafts the people that supported you early on. People like me and Chicken and Baka and Red who bought the game going, okay, early access is going to be a year on this. That's cool. We're fine with that. An early access for a year, that's a beta test for a year, and then we're in full launch. Well, we're coming up on 2 years and we're still not in full launch. And we're not playing anymore. None of us bought the extra DLC. And you may say, well, that's fine, Wildcard doesn't care what you say. That's cool. But we're the people that founded that game. Like, people like us who bought that game right out of the gate, or the ones that in good faith threw down money and said, we want to support you. And they have a really solid idea on their hands, but the implementation is awful. They really need to focus on getting it out and being perfect and good. And I kind of can't help but wonder, since Microsoft and Sony just stepped into the arena of allowing things like early access, how they're going to deal with it. How tolerant will they be if a game that they put on their early access program is still in early access 2 and 3 years down the line? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe everybody's like, hey, we're making money off of it. Who cares how long it's in early access? Well, your players care. ARK's got mixed reviews right now. It used to be mostly positive, and then the longer it was out and the more they just decided not to do anything, it kind of slipped. Rust is kind of middle of the road on the reviews. H1Z1 is negative, like super negative. People are unhappy about that one. So it looks to me like your community's trying to speak out about it, but you've got so many people that are coming and going with the game that it's not being taken seriously. And things like early access need to be watched a little more by the platforms that they're on. Steam needs to step in and say, you've been in this early access program for way too long, and you're using it as a crutch. I mean, obviously, you're just not putting forth the effort that you need to in order to get that game launched. The idea behind early access shouldn't be an excuse that you can use as to why your game sucks and is there forever. It should be something that helps you make your game better so that you can launch it in a couple of years. That's all I'm going to say on it. I'd love to know what you think about it. So leave a comment here. You can take it to the website, infiniterespawn.com. We can start up a forum topic and talk all about this. Or you can hit us up on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. And I'd love to see where you stand on it. How do you feel about early access? Were you an ARK player that got totally turned off by the DLC? Did you buy the DLC? Are you happy with it? Is everything all good? Maybe it's all sunny in your early access land. I don't know. Just let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time.